Pennsylvania, at Three Rivers Stadium, located close to the Golden Triangle. And the Dallas Cowboys are in town with their dynamic organization against the ponderous Pittsburgh Steelers, who are really tough all the time. A sellout crowd, that comes as no surprise to anybody. Both teams have left their locker room. There is Thomas Henderson. There has been some speculation about the fact that maybe Thomas wouldn't start today, maybe not even play. But the word we have now is that he will. And there is Terry Bradshaw. A little bit more elaborate open for you today.
You know, Terry Bradshaw, in fact, the Steelers as a team play much better in games that are against either people in Super Bowls or divisional champions. And even though neither team says it's an important game, this is not just another darn Sunday afternoon.
No, it's not. I guess I should say who we are. I'm Pat Summerall. This, of course, is Tom Brookshire. What better way to start the second half of this NFL season than a match like this?
We might see John Dutton, a big recently acquired defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, I'm sure we will on passing situations. And I just wonder if that old Steel Curtain gang is the same. I think that the Cowboys maybe can block them. Yeah, they're still big, but I think they're a little bit aging there.
Reaction that we got before the game was that the Cowboy locker room has never been quite as quiet as it was as they got ready for this match with the Steelers today.
The thing that scared me was when Webster and Kolb and some of those big offensive linemen for Pittsburgh came out. They're looking to intimidate you as they go out to warm up. They're a very physical bunch.
They even try to intimidate the announcers, and it works. Let's get down to the action, and the Steelers will kick off. Mr. Barr, and Ron Springs, number 20. Steve Wilson, number 81, back deep for the Dallas Cowboys. This is Matt Barr of the famous Kicking Barr family. It'll be Ron Springs, the rookie from Ohio State, who lets it bounce out of the corner of the end zone, and the Cowboys will operate from their own 20. It started off a very damp day, rain early this morning, but now the skies are entirely clear, and it's a beautiful day for football in Pittsburgh.
We talked about the Steeler defense. Here's the offense that will be working. Donovan, Scott, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, Cooper, and look for Dupree to have a big day catching the football today against Pittsburgh.
And the rest of that Dallas offense, the receivers and the backfield, Tony Hill and Drew Pearson wide, Roger Staubach, the quarterback, Dorsett and Newhouse, the running backs. Dorsett will stay in most of the time. Newhouse and Laidlaw will alternate. And here is Tony D. Somewhat of a homecoming for him, as Dennis Winston was the first Steeler to make contact. We'll look at their defense in just a second.
Here's that defense again against the rush, almost as good as ever. Greenwood, Joe Green, Young Dunn from Miami, and Banaszak at the right defensive end. Linebackers, they've been hurt. Ham's been with a hamstring. Lambert's okay, and Winston's in actually for Cole, who has a bad knee.
Winston normally would be in the middle, but now he's on the outside. There is the Steeler secondary. Quick, tough, and good. Dorsett and Laidlaw operate behind Roger Staubach. Billy Joe Dupree will get 3 or 4, not nearly enough for a first down. Mel Blount is the first Steeler to hit him, and again Dennis Winston helps.
It used to be you had to double Joe Green. Now some people think you can stand up and take him right on. Let's see how Rafferty does with number 75 at 64-75. Enough time. And as we said, the tight end has been busy against Pittsburgh most of the year, and they figured they'd go to B.J. a lot.
A 4-yard pickup, make it 3rd and 5 for Dallas on their first possession, and Preston Pearson, who at one time was a Pittsburgh Steeler, has checked into the Dallas lineup as they move into the shotgun. Robin Cole comes in on defense. Fitzgerald's snap is good. Blitz is on. Staubach fires to Billy Joe Dupree, enough for a first down. Mel Blount again on the tackle, but to the 35, where Dallas has some breathing room now as Tom Ramsey looks on.
Now this is from the shotgun, the best 3rd down conversion team in football, about 54% for the Cowboys. Hits the 6'5" receiver, and Blount is darn near that tall as a cornerback. Blount's 6'4".
Not quite as wide, however. There was a flag down on the play. Violation, I believe, against Pittsburgh. Dallas will take the first down.
It's the 53rd game in a row, by the way, for Billy Joe Dupree at tight end, which is the best for any of the tight ends around the league.
And now there are 2 of those tight ends in the Dallas lineup as Jay Salvi lines up on the line of scrimmage, and Dupree is in motion to the left. Hand off to Newhouse. Whacked by Joe Green just as soon as he got the ball. He did well to hang on to it.
You only average 3.4 rushing against this team, and as we said, Joe Green used to take the whole offensive line and sort of scramble it. But if you run straight at him, he can shuck you. He got rid of Rafferty without any problem that time.
He is still difficult to run against. Perhaps he doesn't rush the passer like he once did. But he is still the leader of that defense. No gain for Newhouse. Make it 2nd and 10. Laidlaw is the fullback. Fullback throwing in the direction of Tony Hill. A red blitz, and he just tried to lay it over Ron Johnson, the cornerback.
Pretty good pass protection. That time L.C. Greenwood almost spiked the ball that Roger threw. But you mentioned Mean Joe Green. He was the first official act that that Noel made as the coach here. He took over on a Monday and drafted Green on a Tuesday. Not a bad choice.
Two of the most dynamic organizations anywhere in pro football or any professional sport. Pittsburgh and Dallas. Success has accompanied them wherever they've gone in the last few years. 3rd and 10. No blitz this time against the shotgun, and Staubach has the ball slip out of his hand. Intended for Drew Pearson, but well over his head, and Danny White will make his entrance. The punt for Dallas. The Steeler defense, after giving up one first down, remains solid.
Pearson was open. The ball was overthrown, and when Roger is early in his rhythm trying to get it, once in a while he will hum it and airmail it.
Danny White standing back at the 20-yard line. He is really kicking well.
Hang time is about 4.7 now, most of the time.
We'll check it. They do not try to block it, and it's a fine kick. It'll hang up there a long, long time. Theo Bell takes it at the 24. And Theo Bell is swarmed on just as soon as he gets it. First Cowboy down was Doug Cosby. But a good coverage by Dallas special teams and a fine punt by Danny White. No score in the Super Bowl rematch at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh between Dallas and Pittsburgh. We'll come back with that. There is the Steeler offensive line.
Kolb, Davis, Webster, Mullins, Brown, and Grossman, of course, is the pass receiving tight end.
There's the rest of the offense. Stallworth and Smith wide. And this is Sidney Thornton who gets the carry on the first play. He is in the backfield with Franco Harris. Stopped by Larry Cole. Tony Dorsett and Tom Landry in deep conversation at the moment.
Dorsett, of course, went to Pittsburgh. A great All-American, has a lot of family around here, I would imagine.
The Dallas defensive line has Larry Cole, Stalls, White, and Martin. And the linebackers, Henderson, Brunig, and Deanie Lewis. And the secondary. Second down, Perry Bradshaw. They need 8 for a first. Cowboys fake a blitz. Franco Harris, the ball carrier, is hit right in the middle of the line by Randy White.
Good play by White, and the Dallas team is beginning to lower that rushing average per carry. The last 5 games, they've been allowing people like 88 yards total rushing, and one of the big reasons is the runaway man from Maryland, number 54.
And the fellow who plays next to him, Harvey Martin. We will see, as Tom mentioned a little bit earlier, for the first time this year, John Dutton, a little bit later on, perhaps. 3rd and 6. Right now, Thornton and Rocky Blyer are the Pittsburgh running backs, and Lynn Swan is also in the game. Here's Bradshaw to Swan. First down, Pittsburgh.
What a confidence factor number 88 is. Swan, you're right behind the Dallas secondary. There's number 54 working against
Sam Davis.
Sam Davis. Here's the short out pattern. 3 receivers. They put Smith in there along with Swan and Stallworth. And boy, Swan just coming back last week seems to ignite the offense. And I think he gives Bradshaw a tremendous feeling of confidence.
That was Dennis Thurman who knocked him out of bounds, but it's the first down Pittsburgh. At their own 46-yard line. The Steelers operate. Like John Kolb might have anticipated the count a little too much.
False start, number 55, offense.
Kyle is the big offensive left tackle that weighs about 260 working against Martin. Looks like Kyle might have a slight bruise in the knee, huh?
There's Aaron Kyle that the Dallas medical staff is looking at the moment.
The one place the Cowboys are really vulnerable. Dennis Thurman will be in there, but a lot of young people. Of course, Charlie Waters isn't even around on the trip.
First and 15. Bradshaw straight back. Throwing more and more all the time. Outside it goes to Franco Harris. And Thomas Henderson is right there with him to make the tackle. Thomas had an outstanding game last week. Landry. There's new gray fedora.
And some tackle in the open field by Henderson. There's Big John Dutton, obtained from Baltimore.
Yes,
6'7", about 257 pounds. They tell me he's in very good physical shape.
1 yard loss on that pass completion from Bradshaw to Harris, so make it 2nd and 16. Steelers operating from their own 40.
That's some number underneath Franco's name, isn't it?
Amazing. Again, the pass blocking for Bradshaw is very good. And look out. John Stallworth. Out of bounds in Dallas territory. After a complete turnaround, finally Benny Barnes gets him out of bounds.
Young Aaron Mitchell was beaten on it by Stallworth. He's in there playing the right corner in this particular play. Let's see if we can pick it up now. You're behind the defense again. There's Randy White working to the right of your screen. You can see Stalls coming in. A lot of time for Bradshaw, which is danger. And you can see Stallworth is running free and clear and then circles back and goes the other way. A 33-yard pass play. And Aaron Mitchell was whipped on it.
And Benny Barnes finally takes him out of bounds. First down, Pittsburgh in Dallas territory. Line of scrimmage about the 28-yard line where they operate on first down, throwing again. Bradshaw. Almost picked off by Randy Hughes, who came from nowhere, working on Benny Barnes, but Randy Hughes knocked it out of bounds.
Now Bradshaw is what they call a timing passer. If it's a short sidelines or if he's running a 9 like this, he will count off 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, and he throws it. Sometimes it's intercepted because of that. But with these kind of receivers, a lot of times they're flat open. A great play by Hughes covering the corner. He maybe should have caught that one, though.
Pass intended for Jim Smith. 28-yard line is still the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 from there. Steelers throwing on almost every play. No scores yet. Dallas flexes that defense. Bradshaw gives to Sidney Thornton, who's hit in the backfield by Randy White just as he got the ball.
Pat, we were talking about Randy White and somebody from another era that I could mention that was like him. Ernie Stautner is one of the first guys that I think looks like 54 the way he plays. Arnie Weinmeister used to be with the Giants.
Right.
Leo Namalini and probably Bud McFadden that used to be a big Texas guy that went to the Rams.
It was supposed to be a trap on White, but he's so quick. The trap blocker just hit air.
And in the fourth period, he is more ferocious than he is in the first.
3rd and 11 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at the Dallas 30. Blitz is on. And Bradshaw is down. Cliff Harris. Took him out of field goal range.
And the 13th time that Bradshaw has been sacked this year. Again, when you've got a lot of injuries, and the Steelers have had 13 among their regulars, you get people up there that are playing hurt, like Kolb. Even Webster's nicked. Ooh, and a good safety blitz on the outside, and Harris has it.
Ray Colquitt is number 5. The Steeler punter, averaging 41.3 yards per kick. Wind not too much of a factor in this circular stadium. It swirls a little bit. They're going to try to block it, and Colquitt hangs it high. That should go. Oh, it bounces back upfield. Steelers finally down at about the 13-yard line. Jack Delaplane, who is in his 3rd stint with Pittsburgh, downed it. A funny bounce. As the ball hit inside the 5 and back all the way up outside the 10 where Dallas takes over. Detroit leads Buffalo 7-0 first quarter.
Jeff Comlo with a touchdown pass to Freddie Scott.
No score at Three Rivers Stadium as Dorsett and Newhouse shift behind Roger Staubach. Cowboys at their own 14. Inside handoff to Dorsett. He doesn't make it back to the line of scrimmage even.
You know, Pat, if Dallas cannot run the football, they're not going to be able to keep that possession. Right now, they have the ball about 35 minutes of every game, and if you can't do that, you have to throw for ball control. I think the Cowboys offense could be a little trouble.
Steve Furness and Dwight White smothered that last play. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the National Football League is prohibited. Laidlaw joins Dorsett. On second down, it is Dorsett. And Dorsett is knocked backwards by L.C. Greenwood, who had reached a stalemate with one of the Dallas blockers, I believe Jim Cooper.
Well, Jim Cooper set up. It looks like that Dorsett runs right into the back of his blocker. Greenwood is not the strongest defensive player. He always used finesse. This time he just picked Cooper up off the ground and threw the former Temple University player right into the running back. And I'll tell you, LC looked like he came unloaded that time.
He looked pretty strong then, didn't he? 3rd and 13 situation as the Cowboys shift into the shotgun. They have 4 wide receivers in the game at the moment. Woods, Johnson, and Saldi, as well as the regular one. High snap. It's going to be an illegal procedure violation against the Cowboys. By the way, Dick Jorgensen is the referee. John Keck, the umpire. Dave Hawk, the head linesman. Dick hand-tacked the line judge.
Start, number 61, offense.
Don Wedge, the back judge. Royal Cathcart, the side judge, and Dick Dolak, the field judge.
And you know why that happened is you see Chuck Noll talking to his big offensive left tackle, John Colt. Cooper jumped trying to cut off L.C. Greenwood, who was taking the inside in a hurry.
So it'll be 3rd and 18, and the Cowboys look a little disjointed at the moment. Woods Johnson is number 86, who just checked into the offensive unit. Ball is all the way back at the 5-yard line now as Staubach is back out from under center in the shotgun. Joined back there by Scott Laidlaw. Steelers fake a blitz. And that's all it is. Fake. Out of the end zone to Laidlaw, who stumbles. Gets out to about the 10. That'll buy some room for Danny White, the punter, but that's about it. Robin Cole, who had been injured, made the tackle.
And they are squeezing Dallas because they can't rush the football at all. And rather than throw a deep pattern, it looked to me like it was a safety just to put Danny White in and punt her out of trouble. I thought the steel curtain was getting too old. It looks like it's rather heavy today.
Actually, they had a lot of injuries, and really, now that most of them are coming back, they feel that the fact that they got to use a lot of those young people was beneficial, really. Theo Bell, number 83, is back deep for Pittsburgh. Danny White is number 11. Good snap. Checking the hang time is Bell at his own 47. Cuts back to the inside. Flag is down. 43-yard kick by Danny White. Guy Brown made the tackle, but it's going to be a clipping violation without too much doubt against Pittsburgh.
That's the new rule that will not allow on any kicking formation to hit the other player below the waist. Good rule. By the way, this carpet is in 2 layers. The half that they're working on now is like newer than the part to the left of the viewer's screen, and it's a lot thicker and a little wetter and more tenacity on the right side than it is down to where the Cowboys had their offensive series going.
Personal foul, clipping, number 35, receiving team, first down.
You mean even the carpet has tenacity?
A lot of it. And it's also very tough.
Nothing between last year's 2 Super Bowl teams at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Tonight on CBS, catch a brand new edition of 60 Minutes. And then Building Pains hit Archie Bunker's place, followed by One Day at a Time, and then by Alice. And then the Lads continue. And the Jeffersons. Ernell Roberts stars as Trapper John, MD, all on CBS tonight. Right now, let's see who's starring. Bob Bruneck hits Franco Harris as the middle linebacker filled the middle, as he should.
This Pittsburgh offense is averaging 4.9 a carry. Here's that New Orleans score. That's Wes Chandler, one of the toughest receivers in all of football. Archie Manning hit him for a 45-yard touchdown. The Saints are very much alive and kicking.
Don't forget about that team. They're tied with the Rams for first place at 4-4 and looking better every week. It'll be second down and 7. Terry Bradshaw's Pittsburgh Steelers. Bradshaw from complete to John Stallworth. Operating in front of Dennis Thurman. Aaron Kyle is still out. And Thurman has his hands full.
This is the 36th reception. Watch the fake, the inside fake to Franco Harris. They keep the fullback inside, and from that flex, Dallas did not get a very good pass rush, and Bradshaw's had a lot of time. And if you give Bradshaw the time, he'll throw cork.
Well, thank you very much for that welcome. We don't get to come to Pittsburgh that often.
We get a good game every time we come.
Aaron Kyle is now back in the Dallas secondary. Franco Harris looking for some running room. Cliff Harris and Larry Cole took him down. Maybe a yard for Franco, who had a big Monday night against Denver, but has been bottled up so far.
Remember 2 years ago when he had 179 against Dallas, broke that long run?
I remember we were here, and that's really the thing that broke the game open.
Because Dorsett had started fast for Dallas. Dorsett so far doesn't have a yard.
That was Dorsett's first start. Here's Bradshaw straight back, and the blitz is on. Sid Thornton is the intended receiver, can't find a handle. D.D. Lewis, some good defense for Dallas. Both defenses look tough, don't they?
Cliff Harris almost scored a touchdown that time. The ball was thrown too far downfield, and the receiver sort of spiked it up. Watch how close Harris comes to making a big move. Here's Randy White and company now. If Harris had been able to stay out of that muck and mire for another step, he might have taken that one and gone.
Franco Harris comes out, and Rocky Blyer, who is a fine pass receiver, checks in his place. Rocky Blyer is the lone setback. Sid Thornton flanks on the left. It'll be 3rd and 10. Bradshaw again with protection that seems to hold up. Bradshaw chased by Randy White in the direction of Randy Grossman, but not there.
Randy White chased the quarterback, who is one of the best athletes that I've ever seen, Bradshaw. And this is simply a one-man effort. Watch this from the over defense. You'll see 54 coming to the left. They're trying to squeeze him between two blockers. Brown missed him, and Randy White just does not know how to hold up. And Bradshaw knows it.
Talking about what an outstanding athlete he is, well, I'll tell you more in a minute, is Craig Colquitt. Lines up deep for the Steelers to punt. Steve Wilson back deep for Dallas will handle this one, and does at the 50. There's no place to go as Larry Anderson is right there. 36-yard kick, no return.
That looks like Henderson is down there, is it?
On the other side of the field. Thomas has been bothered by Tomas, I believe is supposed to say now. Been bothered by a back injury, heel injury, and some other problems of late. 0-0 first quarter score. We have 4 minutes 40 seconds left to play in that first period. Mike Ditka talking to some of the members of his defensive backfield crew. Now with Bruce Hutter. Back sitting on the bench is John Dutton, who is now known as Too Tall Dutton by his teammates.
Dallas offense got to move the football a little bit on the ground, get some room.
1st and 10 at their own 16 as Jay Saldi swings in motion. And Dorsett will get the carry. Dorsett gets 2 or 3, but they're tough. Jack Lambert made the hit.
Now, young Dennis Winston, who's playing the right linebacker, number 53, usually is a middle linebacker, the young man from Arkansas. And that time he cut the play back in, made good a penetration, but it's very hard to move from the middle linebacking spot to the outside and play it with reckless abandon. He's having to learn a lot as the action takes place.
That is Dirt Winston.
Because he likes to play in the dirt, right?
It'll be 2nd down. This is artificial dirt here as Billy Joe Dupree is the moving Cowboy. Here's Dorsett looking for room, can't find it. Struggles out to just shy of the 20-yard line. Again, Jack Lambert led the tacklers with help from Ron Johnson.
Great play by Ronnie Johnson, the 2nd-year cornerback. Watch the right part of your screen. The young man's had bad hamstrings for 2 or 3 weeks. Watch him play off, turn it back inside, number 29, and Dorsett simply had nowhere to go, and that's the best way to defend a great running back. Get a lot of people there.
Jets 7, Houston 0.
Richard Todd to Wesley Walker. 39-yard touchdown pass.
3rd and 7. Here's Preston Pearson. He is in the backfield. Dallas with their passing unit. Strawback facing a blitz, looking for Tony Hill, and over his head. Good coverage by Ron Johnson. Look at the rush.
And remember, the third now is 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 7, and here comes the Pittsburgh blitz against Los Angeles. The Cowboys handle it, but this time Woodruff gets right in clean, and Roger has to throw it up and guess whether it was caught or not. It wasn't.
And Danny White with his 3rd punt today, averaging 42.5 yards on the year, 43. Theo Bell, number 83, will probably handle it for Pittsburgh. A good high kick by Danny White. Fair catch signal for by Theo Bell. 43-yard punt. And a high one, too, for Danny.
Two of the highest scoring teams in football, and we've got no score, and yet each team is playing pretty darn well. Good defense.
The NFL on CBS next week. Doubleheader for you. Dallas at New York, Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Washington will be here to play the Steelers, and Minnesota against St. Louis. And then the second games, Los Angeles, Seattle, Detroit, Chicago, New Orleans at Denver, and San Francisco against the Oakland Raiders. And don't forget, all the action begins with the NFL today. Bradshaw with lots of time. Don Stallworth again. Pass complete.
What a great catch. You're right, lady. That is a good right arm. Watch Mr. Bradshaw against the first down flex defense. Bad time to pass rush. You can see Randy White doesn't get in there. Stalls is held. This ball is thrown right in there, and it's a great reception by number 82. Thurman just couldn't stop him from catching it.
Dennis Thurman has again replaced Aaron Kyle at the right cornerback for Dallas. Bradshaw with all kinds of time then. On first down, he throws again. And again it's Stallworth. And again Dennis Thurman. Stallworth over the bench. Out of bounds, but no harm done.
Bradshaw, first down, as you said, Pat. You can see that the Dallas Cowboys are in the flex, which is great against the run, but pretty average against a quarterback that can drop it and throw it. And of the strongest arms around, Bradshaw might have the quickest release with the strong arm.
He can throw it right on the line while he's backing up. New Orleans 7-3 now over Washington.
That's an 18-yard Mosley field goal, and those Skins, boy, they keep bouncing back this year, don't they?
Pittsburgh operating from the Dallas 36 on first down. Franco Harris has some room this time. Franco, first down. Randy Hughes and Cliff Harris bring him down, but Franco inside the 25 for another Pittsburgh first down.
A great block by Sidney Thornton in front of Franco, seals off. Watch number 38 to the left of your screen now. Boy, this is a good-looking play. Davis gets out cleanly. Thornton just sealed off the whole inside, and Harris gets turned around by Davis, who kept his feet. Excellent offensive execution.
Line of scrimmage is now the Dallas 24 as the Steelers have put together 3 consecutive first downs. 2 by passing, that one by running, and Bradshaw throws wide to Swan. Lynn Swan down to about the 15-yard line, knocked backwards by Cliff Harris.
Bradshaw is now 7 of 10 for 96 yards. And this is amazing. This is just a short screen to the outside flanker. And, you know, Swan is really not that fast, but he's one of the great athletes, slippery and sneaky, that you'll ever see at the outside receiving spot. Look at this. Now he comes back, and here come his friends out, right? A lot of good blocks. Only weighs 180 pounds.
Larry Brown led the blockers out in front. Used to be a tight end, now is a tackle. And looks like a different individual. Here is Franco again behind Sam Davis. Franco swings down the far sideline. Dennis Thurman shoved him out of bounds.
Did you see Sam Davis work around his defensive man and make a block? Watch the left guard, 57. Watch him pull. The block is by Webster back on Randy White. Look at this work around D.D. Lewis. Now we're told that only one of those offensive linemen cannot bench over 500 pounds. That's a press bench weight.
Inside the 10, it'll be first and goal, Pittsburgh. Just barely past the 10-yard marker. No scores yet 42 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Bradshaw has Stallworth split out wide to the left. Smith is the other wide receiver. Looking for Stallworth. Got him. Juggled it. Whoa. Pass is called incomplete. Dennis Thurman on the coverage. But boy, they've gone to work on Dennis.
This what looked to me like a touchdown pass. Let's all look at it together. Again, that official is right down in the corner. It's lob, but it still has stuff on it. You're right. Thurman is only about 5'10". We don't know where the feet are, folks. Looks like he's still bobbling. I don't believe he got both feet down. Good call by the official.
It was. He was still juggling as he went out of bounds. Another angle.
But it proves one thing. Bradshaw is right on, and that the Cowboys have a secondary problem right now.
Good play by Thurman. Handoff, perhaps a yard for Sidney Thornton. Larry Cole led the tacklers. Randy White is there, too, along with Brunig.
Once the Steelers get that rushing game going, it really is fearsome. They don't look like they can get outside. Franco Harris weighs 225. He isn't going to get outside, is he?
You don't think so. But he does. There is John Dutton. For the first time, and we'll watch his rush. Operating against Larry Brown at right tackle. Too much time. Steelers had perhaps a little confusion on their offensive set. No. Not too much time. It's the end of the first quarter. Heard the whistles go off, and I thought they had taken too much time, but not true. They'll swap into the field now. Dallas nothing, Pittsburgh nothing, into one. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, the home of the Steelers, and the world champion Pirates as well.
Turnover.
Flyer, excuse me, and Sidney Thornton, the running backs. That's Flyer. Henderson and Thurman made the tackle, but Flyer almost broke it.
Watch Mike Webster, the offensive center, take Stalls and just bury him to the right. And Rocky Blyer, who usually catches passes this year, goes through a good trap hole. And that offensive line of scrimmage right now belongs to Pittsburgh. Are they strong, huh?
It'll be 4th and goal at the 1 as Blyer came that close. Harris and Thornton now the running backs as Blyer's out. 4th down. Harris, touchdown.
Grossman came back in motion and trapped from the outside. See 84 go in there and try to seal off the inside. And Harris culminated the 9-play drive, a 63-yarder for a touchdown. Boy, they looked awfully impressive on the line of scrimmage.
They kept the ball 4 minutes. Matt Barr with Craig Colquitt holding. Will try to make it 7-0 Pittsburgh. It's good. That was Franco Harris, 66 touchdown rushing. The 5th most in NFL history, and the Steelers break on top 7-0. That's the story of that Pittsburgh scoring drive. They lead 7-0.
Cowboys have only had the ball on the 20, the 14, and the 16 3 times in the whole first period. It's not good field position.
Matt Barr to kick off. Rather short kick. Wilson fields it at the 20. Flag is down in the middle of that pileup. Steve Corson made the tackle. Wilson got back to about their best location so far, but they'll move it backwards because of that flag.
They'll be back inside the 20 again. There's Grossman, the young tight end, huh?
That is Randy, not to be confused with our director, Sandy. Monday night on CBS, the White Shadow leads off. Coolidge's apartment goes up in smoke.
holding number 58 on the receiving team, first down.
And an hour of comedy starts with MASH, followed by WKRP in Cincinnati.
That's Lonnie Anderson doing anything she wants, right?
And Lou Grant meets a human guinea pig. It's all Monday night on CBS.
And it's a good lineup.
It is. Good lineups out in front of us here, too, right now. Roger Staubach still the quarterback. Dorsett and Newhouse the setbacks at the moment. On first down, Roger will throw, and he has Drew Pearson. Knocked out of bounds by Ron Johnson, but a Dallas first down. And a flag is down.
It's going to be an unnecessary roughness as young Johnson threw Pearson clear beyond the bench line.
Somebody just hit Johnson in the back of the head with a football.
Might be somebody on the Dallas bench that's going to be called for unnecessary roughness. Unsportsmanlike.
Somebody took off with the flag.
That's taunting, isn't it? Jack Ham is the Steeler trying to talk, and Billy Joe Dupree is the Cowboy.
So there'll be 2 flags down. Dick Jorgensen, the referee.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, out of bounds, defense, unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench, offset.
I thought I knew that call was going to be right. Here's Pearson, first catch of the day, a short sidelines pattern. Here's young Johnson. Now watch him do the old end-in throw. It might have been Mike Ditka that just got one shot in the back of Johnson. He still thinks he could play, you know, the coach.
And as Johnson came back on the field, somebody threw a football at him and hit him in the back of the head. It is a dangerous game, I guess.
Especially over there.
Yeah. First down, Dallas. Operating at their own 35. Long count. Staubach outside Billy Joe Dupree. J.T. Thomas on the coverage, about a 5 or 6 yard pickup.
Pretty smart move. Chuck Noll knows it. It was aggressive blocking. They tried to cut everybody down, and they used a little pick action to get the tight end free. The flanker ran inside and screened off Billy Joe's man. That's some record, too.
6 yard pickup will make it 2nd and 4. Maybe a little bit more than that. Roger Staubach following the lead of Terry Bradshaw and throwing almost every first down now. This is second. For Dorsett, who is pushed by Winston. Dorsett should have caught that.
It wasn't a perfect pass, but it was surely catchable. And Dorsett looked like he was really trying to check out where Winston was, and Winston wasn't close. The ball could have been put away and simply taken down the field. It's a hard target to hit going away from you anyway.
New Orleans still 7-3 over Washington. We gave you the details of that a little bit earlier. It is third down here. Preston Pearson into the lineup for Dallas, but Staubach operates in the shotgun formation this time. Protection is good. Pearson had it right in the numbers and couldn't hang on, and a flag goes down. Jack Lambert is really upset.
And remember earlier I told you the rug was thicker? It looks like that Preston Pearson really stumbles and falls down as he's trying to catch it, and Lambert hit him in the back, and I do think it was an accidental spearing. Let's take a look. To the right of your screen now, you'll see Pearson come out, run the drag. Pretty good pass blocking. Watch this. Yeah, he's already started to stumble, and Lambert hits on his back, and I really don't believe the linebacker meant to do that.
That is a very tough call.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness after the pass was incomplete. 58, defense, first down.
Those are the details. They're not very popular in Pittsburgh. First down, Dallas. They're in Steeler territory. Back on first down, fires. Drew Pearson has it, stays in bounds. Another first down for Dallas.
Boy, Dallas picked up the blitz this time.
Ron Johnson on the coverage.
Watch the blitz on the right part of your screen. You'll see him coming, and Roger has the perfect play called. Everybody's picked up. A short out, and the man has magic feet, makes it work.
Drew Pearson has always had good days against Pittsburgh. 1st and 10, Cowboys at the Steeler 34. By far their best looking drive of the day. Their only drive of the day, in fact. The boos still echo. Staubach running for his life, finds Dupree over his head. And again, a ball that was catchable.
All Roger said was, I think, catch the ball, which is what people say to one another. Here's Dupree checking inside the linebackers. They can chuck you there at least once. They got him twice. And again, he doesn't drop many balls. But you're not playing Pittsburgh all the time.
And you have to be thinking about that. Pittsburgh is a well-coached, tough team. They always have been. 2nd and 10. Dorsett finally breaks the play. Wow. Dorsett put his head down and slammed for about 8 or 9. Jack Lambert finally made the tackle.
There's the reason he was the #1 draft for Dallas. Watch him go straight ahead. LC takes the inside and gets left in the wake. And this time the little man puts his head down and he can hit you. Don't think he is not strong. Lambert found out.
About an 8-yard pickup by Dorsett. It's 3rd down now. And 2 they need for 1st.
Pat, don't you think that Lambert's reputation precedes him a little bit on that call on the roughing?
Yeah. I don't think there's any question about it. As you pointed out, it certainly didn't appear to us, at least, to be intentional at all. Franco Harris looking on. Pittsburgh. Some confusion, and the Steelers, I believe, have called this timeout. Roger Staubach goes over to talk to Tom Landry. The Steelers lead Dallas at the moment 7-0.
Next Saturday, be with us for the first installment of the Battle of the NFL Cheerleaders on the CBS Sports Spectacular. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
The Dallas Cowboys in their first serious offensive thrust. And a 3rd and about 2 at the Pittsburgh 26. 12 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in the first half. Steelers lead 7-0. Dupree has this one and hangs on. A juggle, but nevertheless a catch, and Dallas will have another first down. Lambert and Winston on the tackle.
And Roger is loading it up now on every play. Forget trying to run against this bunch. We've got to see if we can block them and let Roger have time to throw. And boy, there was good offensive blocking that time. The ball was not put away cleanly, but it was put away.
Dallas first down at the Steeler 12.
Staubach is 7 of 12 for 66 yards.
This is Dorsett, tackled just as soon as he gets the ball. Steve Furness is in the Dallas backfield before Dorsett can make any kind of move.
Furness has had a bad knee, number 64. He replaced Ernie Holmes, you might recall. Looked like there must have been a broken assignment on the line of scrimmage. Nobody even touched him that time.
Herbert Scott was coming over to try to make the cutoff block.
Looked like that Furness got in that seam a little bit, and they might have even thought somebody else was going to fill it.
Loss on the play makes it 2nd down now and 13 to go as Laidlaw has thrown Dorsett. And now he almost has to throw. Throws back to Dorsett. Maybe an option pass, or maybe Dorsett cuts back inside. Tony Dorsett around the outside. Tackled by Dennis Winston. He got back to the line of scrimmage after a lot of juking and dancing. Nothing much happened.
I believe it was an option pass by the tailback on the eye, but I don't believe Dorsett ever got a receiver off the line. I believe they caught him and knocked him down. So what he did was not want to throw it wildly. Hill was over at the left sidelines at the flag, covered extremely well. Now Donovan helps his running back But Winston really makes a good open field tackle.
He really does. Third down. Step comes out. Preston Pearson is in. Line of scrimmage to 14. Ballback looks at the Steelers fake a blitz. This time the protection is good, and Roger looks like he might take over it. No, he fires in the end zone. Drew Pearson had a chance, but the Steelers, Dennis Winston, knocked him loose. Butch Johnson, I believe, was the Cowboy receiver. It was.
A great defensive play by Winston, the linebacker. Johnson has a chance to put it away, but the ball is really whistled. Let's watch it. Good pass blocking. The Steelers' rush is really cut down. This throw is humming. Now it's up in the air. Now he can be hit. And I mean, Winston likes to hit people. A great defensive play.
The ball was coming almost straight down, and Winston just knocked him out from under it. Raphael Septien with Danny White holding. It'll be a 32-yard effort.
He's 11 of 16 and kicking very strongly, isn't he?
Got it. 7-3. Pittsburgh leads Dallas. An indication from Dick Jorgensen that the Cowboys are on the scoreboard. 32-yard field goal by Raphael Septien. 9:48 left to play in the first half. Understand that some of the lines had a little bit of difficulty earlier in the day, and some of you who were watching that game were supposed to be seeing this game between Dallas and Pittsburgh. But I also understand now that the problem has been worked out, and everybody that's supposed to be with us is with us. Larry Anderson comes out of the shadow of his own goal line to get outside the 20. Stopped by Aaron Kyle, I believe. 11 plays the Cowboys took it. Went 82 yards, kept it 446, got a field goal, 32 yards from Raphael Septien.
And Roger had to throw it darn near every play on that drive. Tony Dorsett has 7 yards in 8 carries. He's coming off 3 100-yard games in a row, and he has 7 yards on 8 carries. That's pretty good defense against the rush.
I'll say. Aaron Kyle is back in the Dallas secondary. He had a bruised knee. That seems to have worked itself out. The Jets lead Houston 10-3. There's Bradshaw back to throw on first. Jim Smith, the intended receiver. Incomplete. Cliff Harris on the coverage, along with Benny Barnes.
Pretty good move, throwing on first down, trying to catch the Cowboys' thinking run. Here's the fake to Thornton. He just hangs this one up, and Smith, the great athlete from Michigan, comes back and almost pulls it off. Benny Barnes has had him in pretty good shape.
Good coverage. I would have almost bet you anything after seeing Benny Barnes last week that he wouldn't be able to make it. He looked like he was really in agony.
He's a miracle worker. He shows up to play every Sunday or Monday or whatever.
Second down, 10 to go. Pittsburgh has the ball. That is Sid Thornton for substantial yardage up the middle, about 5 yards. Randy White.
Pat, we talked about the offensive line that Pittsburgh has. They're not the biggest, but their upper body strength is so... The guys look like they have their legs sticking out of those jerseys. I'm talking about Webster and Colvin, those fellas. And they have those cutaway jerseys, so the first thing you see is the bicep, which is about 22 inches. You know?
I hope before the day is over, we have a good chance to look at
this.
Webster's arm. Look at Webster, the center.
He's a butter and eggs man from Wisconsin. Looks like he ate the whole farm.
Well, he's got a football stuck up the side of each arm. On third down, Bradshaw goes back. And Bradshaw is being chased and pressured. Finally does complete it. I don't think it's enough for a first down, as Benny Barnes is on the coverage of Lynn Swan.
Here's that line firing off. There's Webster now. Fading back. That's Kolb, number 55, working on Harvey Martin. And I'll tell you, Harvey had to be doubled. Bradshaw gets it and goes down. I believe that was Stalls, man from northern Colorado, that gave him the last shot.
Greg Colquitt is averaging just over 30 yards per kick today so far. Back deep for Pittsburgh, and Steve Wilson singling back for Dallas. High kick, and he should signal for a fair catch, and he does. Dallas will take it over at their own 37-yard line. And suddenly they start to put the squeeze on Pittsburgh a little bit.
You think we're watching a Pasadena preview maybe with these two teams?
I wouldn't be surprised. I look forward to being there. I know that. Well, Tommy, I bet you that Too Tall Jones is watching this game somewhere today.
And they're going to tape that and show the Cowboys his fight next Saturday, right?
Here's Dorsett from Staubach. Jack Lambert on the tackle.
You know, you just saw Terry Bradshaw. New Orleans over Washington, 14-10. That's a Joe Theismann 1-yard run. Pardee seems to be doing a great job coaching with what doesn't sound like a bunch of all-pros.
Boy, those Redskins have shocked a lot of people. Henry Dorsett's pass receiving record so far in 1979. One for a touchdown. 2nd and 4, Scott Laidlaw gets the carry and gets nothing. Dennis Winston, who's doing a heck of a job on the outside, makes the tackle.
Well, Donovan pulled and tried to cut him down, and Winston really plays off the blocker very well. Actually, Dorsett had gotten a good block down further in front of the ball carrier. Here's the toss to Laidlaw. Watch Donovan now out in front trying to work with Winston. I'll tell you, Dirt just plays it off and makes the tackle.
Good play.
He finished it.
And you're right, Dorsett did get a good block. Here it comes.
For you people that don't think the Stars blocked, did a good job on Shell.
It'll be 3rd down and 4. Preston Pearson back with Staubach. The blitz is on. Roger down the middle, looking for Butch Johnson or in that direction, but he had no time as the rush really came.
Well, the option, of course, was with Butch to go either way, inside or outside, but Roger didn't have any option. The Steelers are sending 8 people. If Butch could have come back to the inside, it was wide open, but that's all just promise.
Just over 6.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Steelers lead Dallas 7-3 as Roger Staubach goes in conference with Tom Landry.
Roger is 8 of 15 now for 72 yards, unofficial stats.
Andy White back to punt. This one is not quite as high, but nevertheless a good kick in the direction of Theo Bell. Theo back up the middle. Back to the 25, outside the 25 to the 26 before Tom Rafferty.
Look at Joe, huh?
Joe Green.
You think he's not involved?
Don't forget the award-winning 60 Minutes tonight, right here on CBS. The West Coast will see 60 Minutes at its regularly scheduled time, by the way.
It's a big story about marijuana and legalization, perhaps, huh?
Perhaps.
It's topical. We should watch it. It's a great show.
At the 26, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. 6:23 left first half. Terry Bradshaw has Franco Harris and Sid Thornton behind him. And Thornton is wrapped up by Randy White.
Randy White is really, we said last week, he's like a darn thrashing machine. He's not too tall, so he gets down on the same level with the blocker, and it's really just sort of like 2 big rams above timberline hitting head-on during mating season. You know that crashing head-to-head thing? I know you recall that vividly, but
I do, yes.
He is some kind of an active man on the line of scrimmage.
It'll be 2nd and 8. The Cowboys showed the Steelers their flex defense with 2 of the linemen back off the line of scrimmage, and now they change it. And Franco Harris swings around to the outside and does nothing. Got nowhere. Dave Stalls led the defense, number 65. Greg Colquitt.
I saw a stat the other day about the pay in the league, and guess who the lowest paid players are?
I don't know.
Kickers. And the next...
I did know that.
And the next lowest?
Defensive backs, I bet.
Defensive backs, but we're right down at the bottom of the ocean. The most highly paid, the quarterbacks.
Of course.
Which I think is probably right. I may have been overpaid. Whatever I made.
I was lucky to get paid. 3rd and 7, a little bit out of sync as Bradshaw has good protection this time. Swan has it, dropped it. Incomplete. Benny Barnes right with him.
All right, is that a basketball move by Swan, though? He actually gets Benny Barnes on his hip and tries to turn him inside. What's the bottom of your screen? Swanee will go down, take him too far. Boy, Barnes has good position inside. Now watch this move of the hip. And and almost pulled it off.
Boy, you can't play much better defense than that, though.
Nope. You got to against him.
I guess they have some memories of each other that will last forever. After last year's Super Bowl game and a controversial catch and controversial call that really broke the game open for Pittsburgh. Here's Colquitt. Steve Wilson back for Dallas. Better kick. High kick by Colquitt. Their clutch signal. And wisely so. As Dwayne Woodruff was down looking Wilson right in the eye. 4 minutes, 47 seconds left to play in the first half, with Pittsburgh leading Dallas 7-3.
You know, there have been two big games, in my opinion, that have made professional football. The 58 game, the Giants against the Colts, and last year's Super Bowl between two great defensive teams that was such a high-scoring game. You know?
It's one I'll never forget, either one of those, as a matter of fact. Today's doubleheader games on CBS later on this afternoon. If they're anything like this one, you'll enjoy your Sunday afternoon. Pittsburgh leading Dallas 7-3. Staubach looked at it, Dorsett. Billy Joe Dupree, and the ball's knocked loose. He couldn't put it away. Donnie Shell was wrapped around Billy Joe.
And the fans have really been on Donnie Shell all year. Without a pass rush, it's hard to keep these great tight ends from catching the ball. This time, B.J. Dupree had it put away and just simply was rocked out of it. Watch the left part of your screen. You'll see the big tight end coming across. And it's delivered. It should be a completion. This is good defense. And now Winston comes in, and there goes the apple.
So it'll be second down. They still need 10. Pittsburgh's touchdown by Franco Harris on a 1-yard run. Set up by Rocky Blyer's run. 32-yard field goal by Raphael Septien. Pittsburgh will blitz. And Dorsett almost broke it, tripped up by one of his own men. Tackled by Dennis Winston finally.
But Dallas will come up with third and quite a few instead of 3rd and 2 or 3. And that's how they've been making their living, is the 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3 is fairly easy. But 3rd and 5 against this defense is rough.
They are the best in the NFL in third down conversions. Well, they had been until today. Winston comes out. It'll be 3rd and 6. Preston Pearson back there with Staubach now shifts up on the line of scrimmage. Tony Hill comes out to the left. Protection holds up reasonably well. Staubach fires. Almost caught by Butch Johnson. Couldn't hang on.
You are seeing some great athletes go to work. I don't know how Roger got it off, and he's having trouble getting up. His shoe is in his hand. There were 2 diving attempts to catch the ball or knock it away. Fantastic football.
Here is Staubach's problem.
And the protection held up pretty well for a while. And watch Joe Green and Furness keep after it. And now the linebacker, that's Jack Ham, who came in Philly, has him by the shoe and takes his shoe off and almost completes the pass. Incredible.
Danny White still got the football. Throws. Almost picked off by Pittsburgh. That had to be a planned play, but the Steelers will take over in great shape. Jay Salvi was the intended receiver.
And watch Graves, the young linebacker to the right of your screen, number 50. He will stay to the outside and not get hooked inside by Brunig. And he's the one that forces sort of a desperate throw by Danny White. And that was a desperate play.
And the situation is rather desperate for Dallas at the moment, as the Steelers have a first down just outside the Dallas 30. They lead 7-3 already with a lot of time left. The Steelers have 2 timeouts left. As Bradshaw fires down the middle, intended for Sidney Thornton. Cliff Harris was closest to him. Flags down all over the place.
Now Thornton doesn't look like he's fast, but he runs a 4.5 40, and he's only 5'10", 230. And I think he had Harris beat. I believe Cliff had to grab him. Watch and see where 38 goes. He's already gone up the field, and Cliff is sort of grabbing him around the collar. The flags were late, but I believe that was a good call.
Holding number 43, defense, first down.
Steelers have another first down, this time at the 25. 10-10, Jet Houston.
It's Rob Carpenter with a 1-yard touchdown.
Tampa Bay over Minnesota 3-0. Pittsburgh gives the ball to Thornton, and Thornton breaks a couple of tackles, almost stays on his feet, finally goes down. Just outside the 15-yard line, Cliff Harris made the tackle.
Remember, he beat out Rocky Blyer, who is averaging 6 yards a rush himself. This young man can play. 230 pounds. He's got thighs like most people's waist, and he is still quick, and as you see, he is hungry and eager.
A 9-yard pickup by Sid Thornton, so make it 2nd and 1. First down. Still a lot of time left in the first half. Clock running now with 2:45. What is that?
Look at that group. Looks like a social club.
But what kind of social?
Are we interfering with their game?
Baltimore leading the New England Patriots 7-0. First down Steelers at the Dallas 14. Bradshaw. Intended for Lynn Swan, but again, Benny Barnes.
Oh,
good defense.
Just great defense. And you know, Benny's been playing on the bad foot, and of course, Swanee's been playing with the bad hamstrings, or he hasn't been playing, and this is only his 2nd game back. But without number 31 in there today, Dallas would really be in trouble. Here's a guy that never complains. Sometimes he thinks he's overmatched, but he really plays D.
Word from the Dallas bench is that Roger Staubach has a bruised knee, but it is not supposed to be that serious, and he should be back. 2nd and 10, Pittsburgh. Running at 2:10, fire outside, and again, the contact knocks the ball loose. This time it was John Stallworth that was hit by Cliff Harris.
Cliff Harris took the receiver out from underneath it. Each quarterback finds the ball has gotten to the receiver's hands in good shape, and the tackling is just vicious. Bradshaw, by the way, is some kind of a unique individual, Patrick. He has pants that are all stitched up, but they're comfortable. He doesn't worry about taking his helmet off and showing you that he's lost a little hair. He's a very human-type guy and a great quarterback.
Sporting a new mustache now.
Yeah.
I told him I liked it, and he said, "You're the only one." 3rd down. Rick Hawthorne's in the game. Randy White throws down the middle. Intended for Lynn Swan, I believe. But the protection broke down. The heat was on from Harvey Martin. Benny Barnes again, the nearest defender. And the Dallas defense did a heck of a job to keep Pittsburgh out of there.
And Harvey Martin has had his troubles with John Kolb, and this time he really made a good move. I don't know if he came inside or not.
There's John Dutton in the middle of that Dallas defense now, trying to take advantage of the fact that he is 6'7". He's lined up in the middle.
He's 2 for 2, young Barnes from there.
Like he might have pulled it. Oh. Wide left, he did pull it.
Dallas gets away with one.
Don't stay though. Ball will come back to the 20-yard line. And Dallas will have 2 minutes to operate. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh.
Well, Dallas people are breathing again. They got away with one, huh?
Looks like Pittsburgh had a chance to sock it almost away. First down Cowboys as they shift their offense around. 2 minutes exactly remaining in the first half. Roger Staubach pitches back to Dorsett, and Dorsett fumbles. Pittsburgh has another chance. All the indications are Dallas got it back. I don't know how. Dallas football.
Actually, since the Chicago game, Dorsett's only had one fumble. His average, the frequency, if you will, has been one fumble for every 27 carries. But Dallas did not lose a football, and that is large. Jim Cooper came up with it, I believe, the big offensive right tackle.
It was Cooper who comes up with it.
Here's the play. I believe it was dead anyway. I believe the ball hit the ground anyway before it squirted out.
They hadn't blown the whistle. It is Jim Cooper who makes the recovery. Joe Green in discussion here. Unhappy discussion at the moment.
I believe I would explain it very carefully and to the fullest extent if Joe asked for something, wouldn't you? Joe?
Yes, I think I would.
I'll call the commissioner if you want me to.
Now, you know, they have said that the ball was dead.
I thought it was.
And it's back in the original line of scrimmage. So all that confusion goes for naught. It is 2nd and 10.
Boy, Pittsburgh is really bullish on that defense. They are hotter than heck today. Look at that group. LC and Joe Green and Furness.
Banaszak playing the right defensive end. Billy Joe Dupree moves out wide to the right. Tony Hill and Drew Pearson both split wide left. There's Staubach gives to Dorsett, who ducks underneath Joe Green for a few yards and hangs on to the football.
That time Dorsett tripped. I think that was a big gainer. It's a little wet along that rug, and again, that's a very thick, it's like if you turn a hose on in your living room and you have a rug there, it's very soppy. I can say that. Or sloshy.
Right. Dallas has converted 2 out of 9 third down situations. They face another one right here. 3rd and 5. Staubach fires for Tony Hill. I'm really not sure whether it was intended for Hill or Salvi.
And the blitz came from Shell, the safety man blitzed, and Rogers trying to figure out why his receivers didn't shorten up the pass patterns. Why are they running 30-yard deeps?
Roger Staubach checking off on the sideline now. Theo Bell back deep for Pittsburgh, anticipating Danny White will punt. And I would imagine that he will this time. From behind, Danny White.
He better kick it this time.
Not one of his better efforts. Theo Bell falls to the ground, gets inside Dallas territory, just over midfield, where the Steelers will operate with 2 timeouts left. Tom Rafferty made the tackle. 27 seconds remaining on the scoreboard clock. 33-yard kick is all by Danny White. Don't forget the NFL today at the half. Brent and Irv and Jane.
And happy birthday to Jane, by golly. It's her birthday, right?
That's right.
Now listen, I like Rogers' attitude. He's a great Christian man and a born-again Christian, along with his coach. But I'll tell you, he doesn't turn the other cheek. He's hot about those receivers not running the right patterns.
Don't forget our coverage of punt, pass, and kick, too, at the halftime. First down, Steelers, 27 seconds left. Bradshaw trying for more. Good protection. Intended for Stallworth and out of bounds. Stops the clock. With Harris covering.
This guy wears well, though, doesn't he? He said, I only see you guys about every other year, and it's always against Dallas. Of course, the other division, we'd like to see this kind of a team, a quality team, in January out in Pasadena, wouldn't we, here on CBS?
You talk about what an athlete he is. I played tennis with him a couple years ago. And we first started playing in the middle of the afternoon. He didn't know anything about the game, and by the time we got through, 3 hours later, he was respectable.
Quick learner, huh?
Yes, sir.
Watch yourself.
Rocky Blyer and Sid Thornton, the Steeler backs. Bradshaw has lots of time and fires to Thornton, knocked down by Thomas Henderson.
Tell you, Webster is doing some kind of a job, though, working on Randy White. And I mean, it's tough. Watch the offensive center. He will go over and pick up White right there on the spit. And the twist that time didn't work. Watch this coverage.
It's like Randy White ran into a wall when he hit Webster.
Henderson is a thoroughbred, isn't he? He can stretch out and go get it.
He can really run. Third down, Pittsburgh. Webster over the ball right at midfield, just slightly in Dallas territory. Third down, Bradshaw again will throw. Protection holds up. Bradshaw for Benny Cunningham. Dennis Thurman with some other help. Talk about a big tight end. Cunningham was about 255, 260.
He has trouble staying healthy. There's a big fight on the line of scrimmage that time between Webster and Randy White again. And now 54 is up pointing his finger at him. Let's see what happens. 54 right to the bottom of your screen. And somehow he gets away from Brown. And after being double or triple teamed, I think Randy White is hot.
Or frustrated or something. Craig Colquitt back to kick for Pittsburgh. 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Steve Wilson lets it bounce and will let it trickle toward the end zone. Steelers down in good shape. Colquitt kicks it dead inside the 5 at the 4.
Down on the 4-yard line.
That is all of the first half.
The end of the first half. Pittsburgh 7.
Pittsburgh 7-3 over Dallas. Let's go to Brent Musburger, CBS Control in New York.
All right, thank you very much, Pat Summerall. Oh, the crowd is up for that one in Pittsburgh, aren't they? Next week, Pittsburgh will be taking on Washington, and Dallas has the Giants. 7-3 at the half. Elsewhere right now in the NFL, 14-10, New Orleans with the lead. We'll show you some highlights a bit later in the game. Detroit is surprising Buffalo. 14-0 in the second period. Comlo 6 yards to Fred Scott. Horace King from 11 yards out. What happened to the Bills' attack suddenly? Houston leads as Earl Campbell, after being shaken up in the first period, comes back to score from 2 yards out. 17-10 over the Jets in the second. Tampa Bay 22-yard field goal by O'Donohue. And St. Louis is on the board against Cleveland, but the Browns have just now gone ahead 7-6 on an extra point. For the Cardinals, they missed an extra point. 72-yard fumble return by Steve Niels in that game. Baltimore over New England 7-0. Joe Washington from 8 yards out for the Colts. Now, how about the Heisman Trophy? Charles White of USC has it all but wrapped up. Billy Sims was strong yesterday from Oklahoma, 4 touchdowns. Vegas, Ferguson, and Notre Dame trailing in third. Ask the pro scouts, they don't want any of them. They want Perry Harrington of Jackson State first, followed by Sims of Oklahoma, and Curtis Dickey, Texas A&M, would be third. White would slide to fourth, according to the pro scouts, lack of size. And LaRue Harrington, no relation to Perry out of Norfolk State, also is expected to go in the first round. We'll have highlights, but first let's send you back to Pat Summerall in Pittsburgh. Pat?
It is halftime at Three Rivers Stadium at Pittsburgh. The Steelers lead the Dallas Cowboys 7-3. One more half to go.
The preceding public service announcement was brought to you on behalf of the National Football League. The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealers, who bring you the better idea cars and trucks for the 80s. Light beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by Trinitron, with a one-gun, one-lens system. And it's from Sony, the one and only.
Tom, I really thought that this would be a much higher scoring game that's been so far.
Well, the two good defensive games, though, everybody says you really get to a Super Bowl or the playoffs with defense. And the amazing thing was that Dorsett came in with a 5.1 rushing average, 3 straight 100-yard days, and he's averaging 1.5, 17 yards and 11 carries. He's the only ball carrier at all for Dallas, and they've simply shut it down. The Steel Curtain can still play the rush as well as anybody.
Dallas just averaging 2.6 yards per offensive play, far below their average. Let's get back down to the field.
I can't wait. This is going to be the game that, as we said, might be a preview of things to come. And Bradshaw had a good first half. He was 8 for 20, which isn't big on percentage, but 102 yards.
One more half. And the Super Bowl rematch here on CBS as Raphael Septien chases Larry Anderson back into the end zone, where he comes out with it. He is hit just outside the 20, stays on his feet momentarily, now goes down. Aaron Mitchell. Let's look at the more detailed version of those halftime statistics.
Look at first downs. Yards rushing in the left column, 17 for Dallas, 56 for Pittsburgh, 91 passing for Pittsburgh, 72 for Dallas. But I had a feeling after Pittsburgh missed the field goal after the turnover that Dallas' defense sort of put it together and said, okay, now we're ready to play some football.
By the way, Greg Ayala and Doug Todd is such an outstanding job for the Dallas Cowboys in the area of communications with us. tell us that the information is that Danny White called that play himself when he threw the pass out of punt formation. It was not a call from the bench. He has that option.
Well, they said there were open receivers on it, but the very fact that you would gamble in a 7-3 ball game that way makes me think it was not a good call by White.
Talking about Doug Todd and Greg Ayala. Joe Gordon of the Steelers does an outstanding job, too. They just lay it out on the line for you, don't they?
That's right. Tell you exactly how their players feel. Is anybody more confident than Mr. Terry Bradshaw before or after a game?
He has every reason to be. Terry Bradshaw gives this time to Thornton. Thornton is smothered by Larry Cole. First Cowboy there. Pittsburgh got a touchdown from Franco Harris on a 1-yard run. Dallas got a 32-yard field goal from Raphael Septien, and that is it.
All right, let's do with what we call ground level slow-mo on the line of scrimmage. We told you about how the guys from Pittsburgh can bench press a ton. They set a 230-pound fullback in there and get absolutely not much, maybe a yard and a half.
It'll be third down now. Bradshaw has Thornton right behind him, and he stays in the block on Randy White. Bradshaw fires, complete first down. John Stallworth is touched by Dennis Thurman, but the Steelers get it.
I watched John Dutton now making a rush. He's to the right of the screen. You may not be able to see him. That's Thornton, number 77. But Dutton is a little slow making the original move. And Landry said during the week, I'm not going to expect miracles from a player that's only been in camp a week and a half or 2 weeks.
And hasn't been playing, working out on a regular basis at all. You can't expect that much. First down, Pittsburgh, their own 35. This is Thornton. And Thornton has about 8. Cliff Harris made the tackle, but Sid Thornton just popped out of nowhere to pick up good yardage.
Big block by Cunningham, number 89, the tight end. And he's a moose. Grossman's a good receiver, but Cunningham can block. Watch the right part of your screen. 79 seals it off. Cole can't get out there. D.D. Lewis and Cliff Harris actually get in on that stop.
8 yards make it 2nd and 2. Pittsburgh on the move in their first possession of the second half. Pat Summerall of Tom Brookshire at Three River Stadium. If you can run it against Dallas, the record is that you can have some success. And that's the way they beat them 2 years ago. They were able to run it on the ground.
Well, that time they let Randy White come through and just sort of trapped him. Nobody else showed up, so there was a good-sized hole. Watch 54 to the left of your screen. Come on through, trapped by Mullins, and nobody else made a move, and Stalls got turned all the way around. Linebackers are having to make a lot of tackles.
First down, Pittsburgh, just barely in Dallas territory. They lead it already 7-3. They give to Thornton. Thornton gets to the outside. Breaks a couple of tackles, has a first down. Brunig and Harris make the tackle, but Sid Thornton with good yardage.
Is that a brilliant thing to do, though, at halftime? We'll say, okay, Franco, let's fake it to Franco or put him in the formation and give it to Thornton. Boy, this young back is really a bull. Let's see what sprung Thornton out. Look at Stallworth, the outside receiver, taking Hughes and doubling him over. Can't run wide without good blocking by those receivers.
And a good block by Stallworth on Randy Hughes. Thornton, 9 carries, 49 yards in Dallas territory. Line of scrimmage at 37 now. And Bradshaw and Chuck Noll have apparently made up their mind that this is what we've got to do. Run it. Randy Hughes stops Thornton at the line of scrimmage.
Bradshaw calls a lot of his plays. You know, they say maybe 90%. But that time he faced the flex on first down. I'll bet you he would like to have thrown it. And I really thought he might have checked off to that. I saw him look over at the bench like, dang it, maybe I should have done something else.
The only team that's done better than that at 7 consecutive seasons is Dallas. Hand off to Thornton, who does stay on his feet, struggles up to about the 32. Bradshaw gets up limping. Bob Brunig made the tackle, but Bradshaw looked like he might have turned his ankle. There he is.
Again, he will not leave the game unless they carry him off. You've seen him come back and try to play. Well, he's going to stay in there. The Cowboys have a record of 12 playoffs in 13 seasons.
8 in a row. 3rd and 3. Pittsburgh has made the playoffs 7 consecutive years. Pittsburgh has converted 3 out of 10 times in 3rd down situations. They face this one, and Bradshaw has time to throw. What a catch by John Stallworth. Gee. Remarkable catch, and a flag goes down back in the secondary. Holding against Pittsburgh. I said secondary, I meant the secondary blockers for the Steelers.
They put 3 people that time on Randy White. They all took different shots at him. Let's see what happened and where the breakdown took place. One of the great catches is going to be nullified. Aaron Kyle still thought he was going to get the ball.
Holding number 72, offense, still 3rd down.
Mullins is the culprit.
I saw 3 people. It looked like the Bumpo cars at the amusement parade as Randy White came off the line of scrimmage. They took shots at him from 3 different sides.
All right, it's 3rd down and 13 to go for first for Pittsburgh. They would appear, at least at the moment, to be out of field goal range. Dallas does blitz. Bradshaw picks it up. Another flag is down. It's going to be another holding violation against Pittsburgh. Dennis Thurman covering John Stallworth.
To the bottom of the screen, watch John Dutton, number 78, use the hand slap a little bit on the head of Brown, the tackle. Looked like the holding might have been on the blitzing safety man, wasn't it? It was Henderson or somebody trying to blitz on that side.
Henderson did a good
number
job.
72, offense, decline, 4th down.
That's 2 in a row on Mullins. He's working against whom? Dutton?
No, he's working inside. It looks like maybe against Randy White.
Bradshaw looks like he might be hurting a bit. Chuck Noll justifiably concerned. Craig Colquitt in the game for Pittsburgh. Good kick as Wilson goes up with a fair catch signal, and the Steelers will down it. Down in good shape, but a good kick by Colquitt. That was Dwayne Woodruff who slapped it back, and there's Bradshaw over on the sideline, and the rest of the concerned group trying to figure out just exactly what is wrong. He's obviously in pain. Pittsburgh 7, Dallas 3. 9:15 to go, 3rd quarter. Cleveland leading St. Louis 10-6. As Roger Staubach gets to Newhouse, who struggles out to about the 8. Jack Lambert, as the Pittsburgh crowd encourages that defense.
And that defense is mostly from small colleges. Lambert's from Kent State, Eastern Michigan for Johnson, the cornerback, and Banaszak, the big defensive end. Old Joe Green's from North Texas.
How about Winston? He's from Arkansas.
That's a big school, though. See, that's different.
Baltimore 14, New England 13. Joe Green lined up, pointed in toward center John Fitzgerald. And the handoff is to Tony Dorsett, who will have a Dallas 1st down near the 20-yard line, and that'll give him some breathing room.
And here's the reason that Dorsett was the greatest rusher in college history. Winston fills the hole, number 53. Watch the right part of your screen. Watch Dorsett step over him like it's the low hurdles. People just don't do that. But he does it seemingly in 3rd gear, and he always has something left.
Donnie Shell, the key tackler in that group. Dorsett, number 4 in rushing in the NFC. Left arm problems for Bradshaw. And Dorsett breaks away again for a couple. Mel Blount took him down, number 47.
And don't discount the left hand of a quarterback. All you need to have is a couple of bad handoffs with the left hand and get the ball turned over. And that's been the Pittsburgh problem all year, is turnovers.
And Mike Kruzek is up and warming up behind the Pittsburgh bench. There he is, number 15.
Good, solid, young backup quarterback, though, and not afraid to play. He doesn't want to have any injury force him in there, but he's a good one.
He was 3 for 3 last week. 2nd down, Staubach goes back. He was shaken up a little bit in the 1st half, and he might be again.
Oh.
Landry does not care for that kind of maneuver.
especially against a Lambert defense. But if you get a guy like Jack Lambert and let him legally really hit your quarterback, Tom Landry knows. He was that kind of a hitter himself.
Yes, he was.
Hard and often.
The bright yellow or this one right?
Look at that.
Lambert just got the defense from the sideline and relayed it to playmates. They look angry, don't they? It'll be 3rd down. 3 to go for Dallas. Line of scrimmage their own 26. Preston Pearson and Dorsett are both in the game at the moment. Staubach with a forward handoff to Tony Dorsett. He has the 1st down yardage, but a penalty marker is down.
They got Rafferty out in good shape, the guard. He might have clipped Jack Lambert. They cut off a linebacker very quickly. Pearson came through. I believe Preston Pearson goes through and does a cut job. 26 disappeared. Let's see what happens to Lambert. Scott gets him as outside. Rafferty. That's a great play for a middle linebacker, isn't it?
He took the bite, went in one direction, but got back in a hurry. The violation, I don't know if you heard it or not, was against Preston Pearson. Maybe Dick Jorgensen will give it to us again.
Holding number 26, offense, still 3rd down.
And isn't Jack Lambert the middle linebacker that thought the quarterback should have special rules? They should wear a white dress and high heels or something?
I think that's right.
He has something.
3rd down, 13 yards they need for a 1st. Staubach operating out of the shotgun. The Steelers fake a blitz and don't. Roger being chased, finally throws. Nobody near. Lambert is saying that he intentionally grounded, and most of the fans agree with that.
But the official has to get the declaration of intent. Was he doing that just not to lose yardage? The rest of it is all academic, and nobody's more academic or cerebral than number 12.
Cerebral.
He thinks pretty well, too.
I bet. Roger Staubach over with Landry. And Danny White with his back to you now. Theo Bell beat for Pittsburgh. Another knuckleball type kick. And Bell fields. Oh, good play by Aaron Mitchell, who was down early, got knocked down, got back up, and made the tackle. 39-yard kick by Danny White, and as the clock ticks down, 6 minutes, 10 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh still leads Dallas 7-3.
Too Tall, I'd like to wish you a lot of luck in your up-and-coming fight November 3rd. I'm so glad that you're not playing football anymore. I'm so sick and tired of looking up at your big, ugly face. And I just really want to say how glad I am you no longer like football. Good luck. I really wish you all the luck in the world.
The wishes of goodwill from Terry Bradshaw for Ed Too Tall Jones. And we add our good wishes to that as well. 1st down, Steelers at the Dallas 47. Franco Harris puts it in the secondary. Franco Harris might go. And Franco is gone.
First play of the 2nd half, where Franco Harris was given the football, he breaks it. And I still think in Super Bowl 13, it was his touchdown run that changed the football game. What a great player. Former Penn Stater. No, waited and waited and waited. 78 yards on 11 carries. But the touchdown was, he made Harris turn all the way around with a move like a halfback. I mean, Cliff Harris.
Quite a man is Franco Harris. Matt Barr with Craig Colquitt holding makes it Pittsburgh 14. Dallas 3.
Let's watch the blocking. There comes Mullins over the trap. Randy White has one chance, misses the pads, and Cliff Harris gets all the way turned around. Look out, the big fella's loping.
Randy White took the influence block from the center Webster. to kick off after the touchdown run by Franco Harris of 47 yards. Ron Springs and Steve Wilson, and this is Wilson back for Dallas. Wilson outside the 30 where the Cowboys will take over. Dwayne Woodruff, who has excelled on special teams today, made the tackle. A little disturbance going on again between some of the Cowboys and some of the Steelers. Steve Corson in an argument with somebody. There is Franco Harris.
17-10. The Jets are trailing the Houston Oilers now.
It's another team similar to Washington. You never think they're going to do very much, but Houston always winds up close to the top.
Especially if Earl Campbell is played. He just scored on a 4-yard touchdown run.
Their record is 5-3. Staubach, Dorsett. Winston takes him down. They told us that Dennis Winston was having a difficult time adjusting from the middle to the outside, but it surely doesn't show today, does it?
Well, the Steelers have lost those 2 linebackers, Robin Cole, their former #1 pick from New Mexico.
And Lauren Taves.
And Lauren Taves is out, and Dirt just said, I'll try it. And I'll tell you today, he's been playing from the outside in, which is a good way for a linebacker to play out there.
2nd and 8. Pittsburgh 14, Dallas 3. Laidlaw is the other back now, shifting over to the right. Steelers take a blitz. It's a 4-man rush. Staubach has all kind of time. Throws it hard overhand in the direction of Scott Laidlaw, but finally the protection broke down. And the Steelers must be doing an excellent job in the secondary because Roger had good time, couldn't find anybody.
That time Dwight White had to go all the way around 2 blockers. They're twisting and stunning, and the Cowboys stayed right up there, and they gave Roger a lot of time. Nobody open at all.
Staubach has never beaten Pittsburgh. He is 0-3.
2 for 11 on 3rd down for the Cowboys. Chuck Noll's pretty composed, isn't he?
Oh, he always is. His first year here, they were 1-13. Things have changed, haven't they? Staubach now steps up into the pocket, looks, and throws. He'll have his first down to Drew Pearson.
Oh, boy. Great play by Drew Pearson. He came back toward the line of scrimmage because that time they only rushed 3 men, dropped everybody else back. So you got 8 people back there looking to cover up. Watch Roger gets underneath. There's Cooper, takes White on by. And now Drew Pearson had come back to take the ball, and that's what they needed for a first down. That's a great play.
Winston and Ham on the tackle for Pittsburgh. Here's Roger Staubach now operating on first down in Pittsburgh territory by a yard. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to play 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh up 14-3. A lot of people up on that line of scrimmage this time. Here they come. In the direction of Newhouse, Jack Ham was really putting the pressure on Roger Staubach.
Again, the intentional grounding is if the official that is back there thinks that he is doing this just to avoid the loss of the yardage. He steps under the blitzer, that's the linebacker Ham, and he really was trying to throw it to 44, even though it sort of slid in a little bit. of 24 for Staubach.
It'll be 2nd down now and 15. They must have ruled that Staubach's knee was already on the ground when he finally did get rid of it. That's the reason the yardage is what it is. Handoff is to Dorsett. Oh, look out. Oh, what a block by Billy Joe Dupree on J.T. Thomas. I hope we see that again. You want to see a good block.
Watch 33 slip up inside. Sort of stutters out of the eye. There, sets up the good block for Cooper, who buried somebody. Now watch this move right here. Acceleration. Watch the left part of your screen. You'll see it.
There's the block.
Hello.
Wow.
I guess you look for these all your life if you play in this league. One shot where the guy is not going to be hurt, but where you're going to get his attention for a long time. Watch the left part.
He just disappeared. And Ron Johnson looks like he might have been shaken up a little bit. He's coming off the field.
Boy, he's tough, though. Don't worry about this young cornerback. kid's got a lot of bounce right there.
Dallas picks up the clutch first down. All the way down to the 33-yard line of Pittsburgh. Clock is still running, by the way, with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the third quarter. And Pittsburgh leading 14-3. 47-yard touchdown run by Franco Harris and a 1-yard touchdown run by Franco Harris. Staubach stumbles briefly coming away from center throws. Dupree has it. Billy Joe to the 11 as Dallas comes to life.
Both big linebackers, Winston and Lambert, both missing. Watch Dupree now. Here's the guy that had 4 touchdown passes coming. He gets away from Ham all the way to the far side. Watch the 2 linebackers. He splits everybody. That was Blunt, I believe, and J.T. Thomas downfield.
Ron Johnson over on the sideline. That run by Dorsett, Tom, you tell me, was the longest one this year against Pittsburgh?
Yes, that's right, the longest one. And he now has 53 yards on 14 carries.
Scott Laidlaw joins Dorsett in the backfield. They're at the 11. Blitz is on, and Staubach overthrows Billy Joe Dupree, being covered by Donnie Shell.
Well, Staubach really yelled at the official something, like either somebody was encroaching or they didn't get a chance to get the snap properly. Number 12, you usually don't see him talking too much right as the play is in progress. Big day for Billy Joe so far.
What a good tight end he is. Pittsburgh defense still hanging tough. 2nd and 10 at the Steeler 11. Newhouse back now behind Roger. Protection breaks down. L.C. Greenwood, I believe, was the first Steeler to get to Roger Staubach. He didn't drop very much then, did he?
Well, he may get the sack, but it was actually Furness, I believe, that actually caused the problem. There were 3 good penetrating defensive linemen there. Let's see who all came. I believe White. Furness is going inside. You can see 64 spinning, working against Scott. And he sort of chases in a hurry-up fashion into L.C. Greenwood. He does get the sack.
3rd and 14 is pretty hard to pass, Buck, if your quarterback doesn't get deeper than that.
A 2nd sack today for Roger Staubach.
And the passing unit is in, which of course includes both Pearsons.
Wow.
J.T. Thomas was the nearest person to it. And J.T. was back close to Roger Staubach, who just had to unload as the Steelers really put the heat on.
And watch, Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker, has a shot too. 2 people get good shots, but J.T. Thomas got it solid on the hip. What a blitz.
Annie White will hold for Raphael Septien. It'll be from 32.5 yards out. He has 1 of that distance already.
He's 9 of 11 from this distance.
He has scored all the Dallas points so far. 1:34 left third quarter. Ian pulls it. No good.
Just your average fan, right?
Count Dracula. 14-3. Pittsburgh still leading. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Three Rivers Stadium. New Orleans still leads Washington 14-10. Detroit 14, Buffalo 3. 3-3 between the Minnesota Vikings and Tampa Bay. Second quarter score, that is. Here, we're in the closing minutes of quarter number 3. Bradshaw throws. He's got Stallworth. Aaron Kyle was the first Cowboy to get there, but Stallworth seems to always be very aware of where everybody is.
Well, this time he was in the slot, and Swan's on the outside. Look at this good fake. And this time the slot went out to the sidelines and then up and broke wide open against the zone. And look at Swan clearing out above to the left there. You can see how they work together on it. I'll tell you, Stallworth never seems like he's pressed. He always acts like, I'll do it when I'm ready.
Pretty good day. First down, Pittsburgh at their own 47. Bradshaw, after being stunned a little bit earlier, Looks fine now. Sid Thornton stumbles into the arm of Randy Hughes and Bob Brunig.
Keep in mind that this Pittsburgh offense has lost the ball on fumbles 17 times, and they fumbled 30 times. They're the biggest turnover team in pro football, and if that happens in the fourth period, the Cowboys will be looking for it. That might be the only way you can beat Pittsburgh.
They fumbled, what, 9 times against Cincinnati?
9. 13 times in the last 2 games.
Once you get past that negative statistic, everything else seems to be pretty solid, though.
And it's a bruise-type team. They don't want to do anything fancy. They just say, let's beat on them and see what happens.
That should be the end of the third quarter as the Steelers let it expire. Bradshaw comes over. That is the end of the third quarter with the score Pittsburgh 14, Dallas 3. We now pause for a word from your local station. Pittsburgh has the football, operating just shy of midfield. It is second down. They need 7 for a first. They lead 14-3. Bradshaw gives on a reverse to Thornton, and Thornton will come near to getting that first down.
Good looking play, just the inside move to the running back, not the fullback. Remember, that's Franco Harris. Here's the fake to Franco. Looks like Stalls gets caught inside, and Hollywood Henderson made a heck of a recovery on that. That could have been a big yardage play. Hughes helped on it.
It is about a yard shy of the first down, and Henderson goes out, limps to the sideline. I'd imagine that Mike Hegman would take his place. And Bradshaw gives to Franco Harris, who will not get back to the line of scrimmage and does not get the first down. D.D. Lewis, a heck of a play.
Great play by Harvey Martin, too. Watch number 79. You want to see a bunch jump on the darn short yardage. Watch this charge defensively. There's Davis trying to get out. Harvey Martin comes inside. He and Randy White don't make the tackle, but just strip it up. Kyle's across. And, of course, D.D. Lewis has made the second highest solo tackles. He's not even in there usually on third down.
Harvey Martin took down every blocker they had. Dallas is going to try to block it. They don't. Craig Colquitt lines it over the head of Wilson and into the end zone. Dallas will take over at their own 20. 13 and a half minutes left to play in this contest.
With Colquitt punting, that's the best field position Dallas will have. 14, the 16, the 4, and the 6-yard line. At least now it's on the 20.
14-3, the Steelers lead. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh.
Notice Raphael Wright's in at offensive right tackle, number 70. First time we've seen him in a long time.
Scott Laidlaw in the backfield with Dorsett. Look out, Roger. Staubach manages to... Ball is loose. Staubach really took a shot, and he might be shaken up a bit. L.C. Greenwood is the man who hit him, I believe. Roger has got to be dazed by that.
Well, Gary Dunn fell on the ball, but it looked like it might have come out late. However, he looked to me like he still had forward motion and was still moving ahead. He got away from 2 rushers. He got away from Dunn earlier.
Staubach obviously shaken. Let's see if we can...
And Landry, of course, has been worried, hadn't he, about his running or his it's Dunn and
chased by Dunn and Banaszak.
Both. Now he's drilled. Now that ball's on the ground. It's down.
He was hit by Greenwood. That was the stunning blow.
But that was his right arm that was flopped up there.
No time for Danny White to really get warm, but he is loosening now over in front of Tom Landry. Danny has recovered, he tells me, completely from the problems that he had with that broken thumb. Pittsburgh in command. Roger Staubach is off the field under his own power, rubbing the left side of his head. Danny White is the Dallas quarterback.
He is 3 of 4 this year for 74 yards, 1 touchdown, and no INTs.
And in a pressure cooker situation here, Danny White gives to Dorsett. Dorsett hurdles over a couple of blockers. Maybe got a couple of yards before Jack Lambert, number 58, takes him down.
That is some savage defense that Danny White has to face. Handoff, okay, but you don't come into a game not able to throw the ball. This is not like you're going to shoot a few foul shots and get ready. He's got to be ready to throw it because they got to move the ball through the air. They're not going to be able to run it enough to really beat this Pittsburgh team.
3rd and 8 in a tough situation. Let's see if the Steelers send some blitzes at Danny White. He operates in the shotgun. John Fitzgerald, of course, is the center. They're faking a blitz, and it's not a fake. White. Oh, what a catch by Preston Pearson. Diving. Covered by Jack Ham, but he had enough, I believe, for a first down.
The 14th catch by the man they say should be playing basketball somewhere. And he used to play with the Steelers. Used to play with Baltimore. He's played a lot of places. Here's a great diving catch. The man that's played in Super Bowls with 3 different teams. He's the only guy I know of that could have made that one.
5 Super Bowls altogether. Greenwood again puts on the good rush.
Big rush and coolly handled by young Danny White. Nicely thrown.
Danny White is one fine athlete. A lot of people wonder how long he's going to be willing to wait behind Staubach with the talent he has. Jay Salvey goes in motion. Dorsett out near the 40-yard line where he's stopped by Mel Blount and Jack Lambert again.
Solly that time came back in motion and went into block. And what Dorsett wanted was for everybody in the blue and white to get lost and give him some room to run. Here's Roger now being worked on over there.
Diagnosis is that he probably has a concussion and in all likelihood will not come back. So it's going to be done by Danny White if it's done at all.
You know what was nice? The Pittsburgh trainer, Berlin, was out there checking to make sure if he could add anything to what they were doing with Roger.
It is 2nd and 1. Dorsett 16 carries, 64 yards. Saldi and Billy Joe Dupree shift on the far side, and now BJ comes in motion. Pitches back to Dorsett. Looking for somewhere to go. Gets around. Dorsett has a Dallas first down. Near midfield before Ron Johnson tripped him up.
Give the Dallas offensive line an A+. They cut off everybody on that down 4 and most of the linebackers. The only linebacker that kept in it was Ham. Watch this now. Dupree comes back. Now he goes in motion. He'll seal off Jack Ham and do a good job. Good job by Laidlaw, and this is just a projectile coming through number 33.
You're right. That was a good block by Billy Joe Dupree. First down, Dallas, and the Cowboys are on the move. They fake the draw to Newhouse. Screen to Dorsett with one blocker in front, but that's not near enough. Jack Ham. Here's Roger Staubach. Nothing illegal, nothing dirty about the hit that caused that problem. It was by L.C. Greenwood, but Staubach was still struggling for yards, so it was not a dirty play by any means.
He'll always be struggling for it. I recall against the Rams when he tried to go in a preseason game, and I think it was Marlon McKeever separated his shoulder, and they said, stop running with the ball. But
well, he ran last week against the Cardinals for a key first down. Actually jumped about 5 yards. Here's Danny White. Chased by Greenwood. He's away from him. Chased by Green. And Dorsett has the ball in his hand. And just flat took his eyes off of it. Jack Ham closest, but Dorsett had it. And Dallas would have had another first down. Baltimore 17-13 over New England.
That's two that Dorsett, he didn't hear anybody running. I don't think this kind of a great running back hears footsteps, but he certainly was checking out where he was going to go before he put the ball away twice.
Is Burt Jones playing for Baltimore today? I think he is.
Yes, he is, and apparently in a good shape doing it.
Preston Pearson in the backfield. Salvi, Butch Johnson, the whole group. Danny White throws the sideline. He's got Drew Pearson. How does he do it week after week? First down, Dallas. J.T. Thomas punched him out inside the 30.
The way Danny White did it was with great pass blocking. Here you see Butch Johnson inside. He takes the short drag out. Here's the corner pattern, but it's not deep enough to where he got picked up by the safety. A good play. Now watch the blocking. Rafferty on the right. Fitzgerald bouncing back. Salty stayed in to help the tight end on the left side. And Rayfield Wright is doing a pretty good job with L.C. Greenwood.
Clock is stopped with 8 minutes and 54 seconds left to play. Pittsburgh leading 14-3. Defensive battle it has been from the start. Again, that same formation on the far side, and here comes Dupree in motion again. This time it's Dorsett swinging in the other direction. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Dennis Winston. Again, an excellent play.
What a great play. The play looked like he was going to break Tony Dorsett to the far sidelines. And watch number 53. This is an uncanny play because you can't coach it. You just slip under it. The guy roll blocks you. You throw yourself in. You don't care if you get knocked out. Great defensive play by Winston.
Herbert Scott was the Dallas blocker, but the dirt man came right through it.
Razorbacks just don't quit.
Second 11. Thank you. Danny White goes through with the play, and wisely so. One thing the Steelers have done, they've done a lot of good things, but Tony Hill has not caught a pass.
Anybody that comes in as the leading receiver touchdown-wise and you shut him out, you got a chance. Roger there?
Roger with towels around his head.
He's got the young body and the older head. He's all right. Looks like he's feeling halfway decent now, huh?
So it'll be third down, 11. Steelers have got everybody up on the line of scrimmage. There's nobody back deep for Pittsburgh. Now there are. In the direction of Tony Hill.
You just saw an all-pro named Mel Blount play Tony Hill beautifully.
Right with him step for step.
Blount just got in front of him and said, okay, run up my back, big fella, and see if you can catch it jumping over me. Of course, Danny White, good idea. Rafferty seems to have Joe Green under control. The ball is on target. Superb bit of gamesmanship by number 47.
And now on fourth down, what do you do? Field goal it or go for it? You got to go for it, I think.
You got to have 2 touchdowns. Win, lose, or break even.
You got just over 8 minutes in which to get it done. Dallas a long time in the huddle. It'll be fourth down. They need 11 for a first, and he goes under the center, not shotgunning. Laidlaw and Pearson, the running backs. Protection holds up. Intended for Tony Hill. Knocked away by Mel Blount again. And the Steelers will take over.
They said that Mel Blount, number 47, as soon as the truck rule came in where you couldn't hit people, he would be dead, huh? Well, here's the blocking, and a great throw by Danny White. Everybody picked up, and you're right, Tony Hill is wide open for just a moment. And there comes Blount.
Right back there with him, and the Steelers get the ball back. They lead 14-3.
A little bit of discussion as Pearson came in with the play, and Laidlaw wasn't sure whether to stay in and help block for Danny White or not, but it doesn't make any difference right now.
Last minute discussion or whatever didn't work. First and 10 Pittsburgh. Bradshaw not necessarily satisfied with the way things are going, and Stallworth gets back for the other side of the field, and that was not one of his wiser moves. Dave Stalls made the tackle, and Stallworth lost about 8 or 10. Detroit hanging on against Buffalo 17-13. That's the fourth quarter score.
If Dallas would lose this game, you would have to think maybe judgment. You know, the fake punt and pass by Danny White really didn't hurt him point-wise. But this last thing, going for it on the crazy pass play, of course, it was almost a touchdown, too.
Here's Pittsburgh now operating with second, and they need 23. Bradshaw is not going to be satisfied. Franco Harris shakes away a couple of tackles. Aaron Kyle tripped him up. That's our first final score. The New Orleans Saints 14, Washington 10.
Theismann scored on a 1-yard run too late, though. And that second quarter, and the Redskins are really hurt by that one because they have to come and play Pittsburgh next week.
New Orleans is really helped by that one because no matter what happens to the Rams, they'll still be in first place in the NFC West. 3rd and 18 situation.
Dallas defense looks like they're getting a little bit nasty now.
6.5 minutes left to play. Rocky Blyer in the backfield. Thornton has moved inside. And Bradshaw looking for that first down. Might have it for Swan. He can't hang on. Benny Barnes has gotten some resemblance of revenge for what happened to him in the Super Bowl last year. He's done a superb job covering Lynn Swan.
What a job that was, because that is split second. With a great receiver like Swan, there's a tendency to pull that yellow flag out anyway, and he's done it despite all that.
Roger obviously very sad at the moment and still perhaps a little cloudy on the head.
A little groggy.
Craig Colquitt. Line drive kick. Wilson comes over to field it and doesn't have much room to operate. Steelers did a good job covering, and Dallas will operate from its own 35. A 48-yard kick from Craig Colquitt of the line drive variety. So in the fourth quarter, in the Super Bowl rematch between Dallas and Pittsburgh, the Steelers dominate 14-3 at the moment. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, where the Steeler defense has ruled supreme. Danny White gives to Tony Dorsett. He's cut down just about a yard deep into that secondary by Dennis Winston.
He's got to get a game ball, or at least part of it. He might eat half of it. He is really loaded for bear. Watch this, the misdirection inside with the fullback. He has to have made 7 solo tackles that are all solid.
At least. What a job by number 53. 2nd and 8 for Dallas, and Danny White has got to put the ball in the air, and soon, like right now. Protection holds, but Pearson can't, as Donnie Shell hits him just as the ball arrives.
I have never seen so many good plays by defensemen, including Benny Barnes, as the ball is being caught. Just like Shell, his counterpart, number 31, just made on Pearson. Some of the great defensive plays have all been jammed into one game.
Other games this afternoon on CBS, the doubleheader game. Chicago will be at San Francisco. Green Bay at Miami. The Giants out in Los Angeles. The Rams are struggling a little bit. And Philadelphia at Cincinnati. And Philadelphia, of course, with the knowledge that Dallas is losing and that Washington has lost.
This is a big third down play for Danny White right here. Large.
He operates in the shotgun. Joe Green and group struggling. Danny White has plenty of time. And intended for Tony Hill, who looked as if he didn't see it coming.
Looked like a first baseman making a stretch.
Cowboy is down on this side of the field. I believe it's Preston Pearson.
Preston Pearson. And there's no doubt about it, the Steelers are not timid. They tell you they're going to strike you when they come out to warm out. Webster and company, they tell you, if you don't want to get hit, you better go somewhere else.
You know, even back when we were playing, it was the same way.
Well, in those days, the hair would grow through the jerseys on some of those old Steelers.
What?
They were tough.
Roger Staubach is up. Talking to Jay Saldi, still feeling the back of his head. But Roger, encouragingly, is up and talking and feeling better. NFL on CBS, the doubleheader games next week. Dallas, the Cowboys will be in the Meadowlands against the Giants. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Washington here against Pittsburgh. They better bring some armor. Minnesota at St. Louis. That's first game. Second, the Rams against Seattle, and Jim Zorn and his group who are not out of it by any means. Detroit at Chicago. New Orleans, Denver. And this is being brought out for Preston Pearson.
I don't think I've ever seen Preston down on the ground, Pat. All the Dallas games that we've done, I can't recall him ever being stretched.
I can't either, Tom. It's not a happy sight to see either. Certainly, it hasn't been diagnosed. And certainly, we wouldn't venture an opinion.
Should I have one?
But they're not going to take any chances. Preston in 5 Super Bowl games with 3 different teams,
including the adversary today, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And nobody else anywhere can make that claim. He lives in Pittsburgh, by the way, in the offseason. 60 Minutes, don't forget. The award-winning series, I suppose, news magazine or whatever. Following football on most of these stations, the West Coast will see 60 Minutes at its regular scheduled time. They're concerned from up above, on the level at which we are, about the situation and the condition of Preston Pearson, who is on a stretcher now.
I recall one year that Dallas wouldn't have gotten to the Super Bowl at all if he hadn't have blown Los Angeles out. He and Roger almost personally for Coach Landry. Remember that day on the West Coast?
Remember the diving catches he made that day?
There's a good man, too, Coach Landry.
We were talking before about the Steeler record the first year that Chuck Noll was here being 1-13 when Landry first went to Dallas that first year. He was 0-11-1. No victories.
I think it was, what, 63 when he got the 10-year contract and sort of got people off his back and allowed him to put the program in motion?
Well, since they started to win, it's been an every-year occurrence. And since Chuck Noll took over in Pittsburgh, their victories have been an every-year occurrence. It is a knee, I believe, for Preston Pearson. And it took place away from the play as Danny White hangs it high, and Bell will field. Bell dodges a couple of tackles. Well, almost broke out of the pack. Steve Wilson made the tackle as Theo Bell made the good return. 37-yard kick for Danny White. Clock runs. Clock is stopped now with 4 minutes, 58 seconds left to play. It looks like the Steelers might be in pretty good shape.
What a great psychology it is, though, to be the team that plays better against the toughest teams in football. You know what? What a great way to be known is, okay, I was a great golfer when I played against the greatest golfers, or whatever the game is, and that's what the Steelers are.
There's Franco Harris again, breaking off the left side, picking up about 9 yards before Cliff Harris, not related, makes the tackle. Last time Dallas was held to just a field goal was when, 1972?
The Giants did it 23-3. I didn't think the Giants had scored 23 points in a long time. Shows you how quickly I've forgotten some.
They got hung up on 17 for 2 years.
For 17 years.
14 carries, 89 yards for Franco Harris. Franco still the lone setback behind Bradshaw, and he will get another carry. And he pulls this way for a first down. There are only 3 backs so far who have ever gained more than 100 yards more than once against this Dallas defense. One of them we saw last week.
Twice he's done it. O.J. Anderson.
O.J. Anderson, Jim Brown, and John David Crow. Franco Harris is about to join that company.
He's another one that saves big efforts for great games. Like, of course, last week he came in here from a great night. What did he have last week? He's had 32 100-yard days.
Here's Bradshaw now calmly taking his time, and Harris again gets the tackle, gets the carry, and he goes for about 5. Leaning in that direction, Aaron Kyle tripped him up.
93 yards. Franco is closing in on his 33rd game of 100 yards plus. Inside handoff. Davis out in front. D.D. Lewis turns it in pretty good shape. 2 1/4. He still carries it swiftly, doesn't he, Franco?
Franco has 98. 2nd and 5 after that 5-yard pickup. His next one will get him over 100. And you'll hear the reaction from the crowd when they put it up on the scoreboard. Pittsburgh 14, Dallas 3, 2:50 left to play. Sid Thornton gets this carry, does not quite get enough for the first down. He's about 2 shy. Dave Stalls, the tackler. Dallas defense has been on the field a long time. So has Pittsburgh's. They've both been excellent.
The only 2 losses, of course, that Pittsburgh had, the Eagles caught them and played an extremely good football game. Maybe over their heads, some of the Philadelphia people thought, but they beat them honestly. A lot of injury still. And, of course, the Cincinnati debacle when they turned over the ball 9 times on fumbles.
Philadelphia plays Cincinnati later on. Dallas record coming in was 7-1. Washington has already lost. Here's Franco. Does not get the first down. He stumbles for about a yard before Larry Cole wraps him up around the legs. The crowd now starts to depart. We should have the 2-minute warning right now. And that is exactly what's happened. Let's see, a minute 57 left on the scoreboard clock. Pittsburgh leading Dallas 14-3. Mike Ditka just sent in Dennis Thurman, among others. What is this? They did something different right at the end.
Steelers trying to hurry up punt, but they didn't get set. Official wouldn't let them.
Colquitt hangs it high. Steelers watch it bounce out of bounds. It took another funny bounce. But Dallas got a long way to go.
Colquitt has had them on the 20, the 14, the 16, the 4, the 6, and this one's on the 9.
He's done a good job kicking those high knucklers that seem to just bounce straight up or straight out. Pittsburgh Steelers looking awfully impressive. 14-3.
Of course, Dallas has next week they have the New York Giants, then Philadelphia on a Monday night, then Washington, Houston, New York, Philadelphia on a Saturday afternoon here on CBS, and then the Redskins for a finale.
There's a lot of work yet to be done for both teams. Pittsburgh doesn't have any vacation coming up either. They have Washington, Kansas City, San Diego, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Houston, and Buffalo left. Danny White operates from the shotgun, has it batted down by L.C. Greenwood.
I just feel like if Pittsburgh stays healthy, they can rock and sock with you on the line of scrimmage every darn day of the week. If they're a healthy team, they'll slug you. And by the 4th period, you better have skilled people that can still run around and walk and talk at the same time.
They'll slug you if they're not healthy.
They are tough. But I don't think they're a dirty team. I really
absolutely
mean
not.
They just look you right in the eye and shoot you.
No, I didn't mean to. Right. And again, he operates back at his own goal line. He has Ron Springs, who will have a Dallas first down, gets out of bounds. And they flank alongside Danny White. Quick snap. He didn't look like he was ready for that, did he? There's Rafferty out in front of Dorsett, and Dorsett Springs, I beg your pardon, it was not Dorsett. Middle, doesn't he? 2nd and 10, 14-3 Pittsburgh. Danny White taking the place of the injured Roger Staubach. And again, a tough hit. Donnie Shell hit Drew Pearson. And Drew Pearson hops right back up. Danny White, the quarterback. 54 seconds left to play. They're trying to run a screen, and they do to Ron Springs. Lambert chases, but Dallas has the first down. Dennis Winston knocked him out of bounds. Sandy and Randy Art. I don't think. Danny White tipped off by Donnie Shell. Intended for Jay Souders. But Pittsburgh now is able to just say, we'll run it out. Dallas tough last week, and in this final here, Pittsburgh Steelers 14, Dallas 3. Both touchdowns for the Steelers by Franco Harris and the field goal by Rafael Septien. So from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, this is Pat Summerall saying so long for Tom Brookshire. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.